Hi guys, today we're going to react to War of Being by Tesseract. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Dave. Thank you, Dave, for this request, for bringing us back to Tesseract, and thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dave, for the request and for the support. Much appreciated.
That the life in you ran cold. My tears turned to dread with words of life and death. I was sold alive, my future in disguise. You chose to
I think this one is vastly different than Legion, which we reacted to. We only reacted to one song of Tesseract before. This song crawls under your skin almost immediately. It's like mainlining pain, and it doesn't let you rest. It feels like it's meant to deliver some sort of guttural notion. I love the way it started, like the journey that they're bringing us into, the way that they grab my attention. And I think I've said it before when we reacted to Legion, their lead vocalist, Dan Tompkins, has an amazing voice. Along with the gutturalness of the sound and the heavy, he grabs you with his voice. I think that's when I said mainlining pain. I think he's got a lot to do with it, like it's coming from a personal place. So far, I'm loving it. I'm loving the visuals as well. It's like a Ridley Scott scenario, like a Blade Runner thing. I'm loving it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more invested visually than Legion was. Legion was interesting because it was sort of minimalistic and still told a hell of a story within it, which was really cool. Yeah. This one kind of went the other way and is telling sort of a grand story, but we need to kind of hear more before we can kind of try to even decipher it. But yeah, Dan Tompkins, great voice. He's using a lot more of the harsh vocals here early. I think in Legion it sort of came on a bit later or around the chorus. This one feels heavier, darker. So far, really interesting.
The journey that the band takes us on is a lot more intricate. They have alternating tempos and alternating rhythms to keep us on our toes. It prevents you from getting immersed in it. It projects like a feeling of unease. It almost shouldn't work. The rhythm, the way he sings, and the way the instruments, that long section with the bass, that's not a common rhythm usually in songs. That prevents you from resting into it. It keeps you in a constant state of alertness. And I think that has a lot to do with the subject matter, but it's also a very cool experience to go through with the song.
It just struck me that looking at Dan Tompkins, I wouldn't have recognized him from Legion because in the other one he was wearing the helmet. Here you get the hair and it just looks completely different. But the sound, I feel like they're still within that same realm of sound, although the songs are very different. I can sort of really see this song coming from them after Legion, but we're getting to see a different side of the band perhaps. That sort of almost instrumental break, the first one after you paused, there was a lot of bass in there, you know, drums, guitar. That was really, really cool and heavy. Later, they had a different sort of almost like a bridging instrumental part where it was a lot lighter, which was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then you're right, it kind of breaks into like a different direction. It shouldn't work. It's there to create unease for sure. And yeah, I assume it has something to do with the subject matter. It's their way of telling the story, and I'm loving it so far. It's really interesting. Really kept me in it. Like you said, you can't really get immersed in it so that you neglect to notice things. It keeps you on your toes, so you're always trying to work out what's going on.
I can imagine the thought process behind recording a song like that. How did they conjure up these amazing sounds? It's like a lot of round table discussions with performing a project like that. Regarding the subject matter, by the lyrics, it's kind of tough to decipher each one of the lines on its own, but I get a general idea from the song. If it weren't for the title, I don't think I would have gotten this idea. Not just the title, I mean the lyrics themselves, but as a whole. I think this is a song that deals with questions that have to do with life and the lack of answers. I think the narrator here protests the frailty of life and the fact that we're born into suffering. Life is suffering. And before we can understand why we were born or what the point of all this is anyway, we wither and die. I think there's a lot of frustration of the fact that we exist to some perceptions, not going into philosophical terms of existing, but a lot of frustration from existing comes in this song and the way things are laid out, with the fact that we constantly need to battle to eke our way through life. Most of us, I mean. And I think it's even depicted in the visuals and in the pain in his voice. Maybe I'll do it later, but I can't really point out certain parts and certain lines that made me think that way. There are. It's based on what I've understood from the lines. That's what it means to me so far.
Yeah, it seems like an inner struggle. When we first saw those two sort of ancient warriors, I was trying to work out what is going on. Is this like a good versus evil type of thing? But it is really light versus darkness, perhaps within us. So it's an internal thing more than anything. And through some of the lines and just the feeling, it got me thinking that it's like almost how we kind of struggle to understand and accept ourselves, perhaps, and fighting against ego, against instinct to do certain things a certain way. It's really interesting. There's probably a lot more to this, more than just maybe an inner conflict, but it's really tough to decipher because, again, there's a lot of words in this and not all of them connect exactly to one another. So it's an interesting one. There was a section way back in the beginning that said the rising intent to birth and release the darkness within. So it's really somebody's struggle to come to some sort of an acceptance about themselves and to release the darkness and hold on to the light, perhaps. Kind of work out who you are and live with it. That's sort of what I got from it.
The perception thing, I can't even point it out, but it arose from the song. It's like in it, I feel that there's like a question. Why does a perception take such a long time to set in while we experience life? We experience life and then it takes a long time for us to try to even understand why we experienced it. It's like we're not handed the tools to deal with life, but if we come to an understanding, it's always after the fact. It's always after we suffered and made many mistakes. It's always after we were able to even correct these mistakes. It's like a delayed understanding to what life throws at you. That's in it to some extent, at least that's what it means to me.
It sounds like hindsight, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, it's very subjective, but I think the visuals corroborate what I'm getting from this song, at least to me. I could be completely wrong, but the whole theme with he's standing on some sort of symbol that looks like a circular maze, like life is a maze and it's circular because life and death. And the two warriors mentioned inner struggle fight with each other and the sun is about to set. So it's like we're too busy struggling through life with inner battles and everything that goes in it. We don't take the time to understand what's it all about. And then it comes a time when it's too late. The sun is about to set. It symbolizes that the end of a life cycle. We're struggling all the way through and then we die, not knowing what it was all about. I think that's what I take from the visuals, at least. And they keep you on your toes throughout. This is a very long song. For a second, you don't get like sedated by the frequencies that sequester your thought. It does the opposite, keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, you mentioned that thing about the day's about to end. It shows you the two warriors, they're almost like spent, so tired. And if it's to symbolize an inner battle, then imagine how exhausting it is for us to always try to figure ourselves out. You're saying the day is about to end, and there was a line earlier that said, keep the flames at bay, live another day. So it's almost like at some point we have to put these thoughts aside just to continue on to live. We can't always keep thinking about this thing. But there was also the repeating line of tear the mask away. So it's like, stop living with this mask on, reveal yourself to yourself. Stop pretending you're somebody else. Stop trying to live a certain way to please whomever and just be you. I think that's kind of somewhere in there. But like you said, we could be completely wrong about all of it, but that's just what we're seeing so far. This is like an epic music video for an epic song. Really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot of sense in what you said. You don't know anything about life, but you know it ends. So if it ends, then you should get your priorities straight. You don't have to pretend that you're somebody else to impress somebody. There's nothing you need to prove to anyone aside from being loyal to yourself. At the very least, even if you don't know anything, but you do know it's going to end sometime, you don't feel it. When you're young, you never feel it. You feel like you're going to live forever. That's an understanding that is good to have, to be authentic.
The words that I whispered when it all began, did they shine a light on you? You don't understand. You dream of falling like some twisted storm. Listening as you
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I don't think it leaves you with any answers. It's like frustration loomed into an art piece. That's what it feels like. Not just frustration, but pain and questions and even curiosity, but from the darker side, from a person who had already experienced the hardship in life. To me, what arises is, what's the point? Somebody tell me what the point is.
Yeah, and there's a lot more in there. There's a lot more imagery in this music video. There's a lot more in the words. There's that character that was in there in the robe that looked like it was made of stone. I'm not even sure what that was about. It's probably going to take a few more viewings and a few more readings of the lyrics to actually understand it. But I think it is about an inner struggle. So it's really about getting to know yourself. It's about coming to terms with yourself. Those final lines said, raise your eyes, notice me. So it's almost like your inner voice is yelling this out to you. You know, look in the mirror, raise your eyes, notice me. This is who I am. This is who you are. Stop trying to be something else or somebody else and stick to what's important. I think that's where it's going, but like we always say, we could be completely wrong. This was really, really cool, really interesting, really deep and dark and everything that Legion was, just in a completely different direction. That was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, after having reacted to so many songs together, it feels like the songs that make you think, what the hell did I just watch, are the most fun to react to.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Dave, for this request. That was freaking awesome. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave, for this beautiful request. We enjoyed reacting to another Tesseract song very much. Thank you for support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Our previous reaction to Tesseract with Legion should be up on the screen sometime about now. Give it a click, check it out. Another awesome song from this band who we'd love to hear more from. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate you. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.